America and most of the Western world are ill, and the mental health situation is only one symptom of this sickness. It is quite possible that the stage is terminal and there is no hope. We like to hope for the best. Make America sane again. February 13, 2022, horrible murder took place. Media had called it the Chinatown murder. ASamad NASH, 25, butchered 35-year-old Christina Unelly. The horrifying details unfold as ASamad NASH's actions are recounted. He claimed he was trying to protect a woman from harm while insisting that the attacker wounded him in the leg before fleeing. Outside the victim's home, Nash continued to describe the assailant's actions and identified himself as a supporter of the Chinatown community. Chilling surveillance footage showed Nash trailing the victim, Christina Unelly, as she ascended 6 flights of stairs to her apartment around 4:20 am. Lee, returning from a nearby club in an Uber, was followed into her building by Nash. Upon opening her apartment door, Nash forcibly entered, sparking a struggle that prompted calls for help from neighbors. Despite their swift arrival, officers couldn't access the apartment. Nash attempted to escape via the fire escape, but was spotted by a police officer on the roof and Ray entered the apartment. When officers entered around 5:40 am, prosecutors said that Lee was still alive when officers arrived in the building, as they could hear her cries and screams for help, but the door was barricaded. Let's look at some gruesome details. Police could not enter for an hour while the woman with 40 stab wounds was bleeding to death. Her screams got weaker and weaker while life was escaping her body. Police discovered Lee with more than 40 stab wounds to her head, neck, and torso. Her property remained untouched. The scene revealed a bloodied knife concealed behind the dresser, matching a set in Lee's kitchen. Nash, also injured, displayed concern for the victim, telling an officer they were attacked by another person who fled. However, Nash's extensive criminal history and ongoing cases cast doubt on his claims. Despite being absent during the indictment, Nash's unwillingness to attend court from Rikers Island was noted. Upon his eventual appearance, he showed no emotion, dressed in a beige jail uniform. As of June 12, 2023, further revelations have come to light regarding the case. In addition to the murder charge, ASamad NASH has been accused of burglary and burglary as a sexually motivated felony. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office Alvin Bragg Samda, who is bringing the Stormy Daniels case against Donald Trump. This is a whole different story. Has declared Nash unfit for trial following a comprehensive psychiatric examination. Consequently, he will be held in the custody of the Department of Mental Health and Hygiene until his capacity to proceed with legal proceedings is established. Earlier in June, the family of the victim, Christina Unelly, announced their intention to sue the city of New York and the NYPD, citing alleged failures to intervene on the night of the tragic killing. In a less grave incident, the focus turns to a 49-year-old individual named Craig Tomonaka, who ignited a New Year's tree near the Fox News building on Christmas Day. Subsequently released, Tomonaka's actions seemingly indicated an unsettling desire for attention, as he later engaged in inappropriate behavior near a federal court building. These stories point to a deeper issue, one that transcends skin color, age, or socioeconomic status. It's a struggle with debilitating disorders, both mental and behavioral, that often intersect with substance abuse, exacerbating the turmoil within. These individuals are ensnared by diseases, rendering them vulnerable to criminal acts that victimize others. In considering potential interventions, prevention emerges as a vital strategy against such serious offenses. It's crucial to remember that drug abuse and alcohol consumption frequently exacerbate pre-existing mental health conditions. The true complexity lies within a broken system, not merely political rhetoric, but rather a systemic failing that demands remedy. To comprehend the present state, It's instructive to reflect on the historical trajectory of mental health care in the United States. Delving into the annals of 1950, the genesis of the institutionalization of the U.S. psychiatric system reveals its origins in the wake of a crumbling preceding framework, driven by corruption and insufficient funding. Several high-profile cases punctuated this deterioration, culminating in a system collapse. Coinciding with this narrative was the emergence of antipsychotic medications, a development that nurtured hopes of deinstitutionalization and community-based care. Alas, the promise remained unfulfilled, underscoring the complexity of the challenge. Profiting from this dynamic were vested interests, including pharmaceutical corporations, although accountability extends beyond them to include corrupt politicians. Statistics elucidate the gravity of the shift. The number of psychiatric beds plummeted from 560,000 in 1950 to a mere 36,000 in 2000, a decrease of 15-fold. This trend persisted even through the pandemic, where bed numbers were further reduced. This forced expulsion of individuals into society, unprepared and vulnerable, contributed to a distressing rise in criminal activity and violence. Contemplating the path forward, one confronts the question of how to rectify this unsettling trajectory. Without decisive action, the future portends only greater suffering and upheaval. Whether aspiring to positions of high office or simply engaging in public discourse, it is incumbent upon us to unite under the banner of revitalization. This isn't a matter of partisanship. It's a clarion call for change. The refrain, "Make America Sane Again," transcends political affiliation and serves as a rallying cry to reassert collective responsibility and address the systemic roots of these challenges. In conclusion, these narratives provide a poignant reminder of the urgent need for reform. They serve as a stark testament to the failures of the current system, revealing the interconnectedness of mental health, substance abuse, and criminal behavior. To effect lasting change, we must rise above partisan divides and undertake a comprehensive reevaluation of our societal frameworks, ensuring that the mistakes of the past do not shape our future. Make America sane again.